that everyone received? Did you receive the questions?
Yes, I did. We did.
Yes, I can read.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So how this will work? We had the questions to guide us. We had the questions to guide us, but this is a free talking. If you want to talk about anything else than the questions, you can go ahead. Okay, don't be shy. And in Talk and Talk, we believe we can develop our fluence sharing our experiences. Just like a conversation you're in a restaurant with a friend and you start to talk about your favorite soccer team, and then you change the subject to your job, and then you can change back the subject to other subject is not a problem, okay? But we use the questions to guide us during the immersion, so it's not a rule. We need to do all the questions, all right, but it's only a tool to help us to talk about some topic. Okay, so before we start, I need to introduce myself, and then I will ask to everyone to introduce yourself. Okay, so my name is Carlos. I work as a software engineer to a company located on USA, and I'm using Talk and Talk for 1 year and a half, almost 2 years. And Talk and Talk helped me to get much more confidence talking in English. And I like to run, do outdoor activities. I had two daughters, and I prefer to spend my free time with them, playing some games or doing those kind of activities. All right, let's start with you, Oswald. Can you introduce yourself, please, before we start with the questions?
Okay, let's do it. I'm Osvaldo. I'm 36 years old. I live in Americana, near Campinas, São Paulo. I'm a front-end developer in a payment method startup, and I live with my fiance and a stepson, but I have another two sons that don't live with me, but they live in the same at the same seat here. I have been working in a side project with four partners, two. In my free time, I like to play games, watch lives, watch videos, and I love to listen to music, and I can try sing some songs too. And I'm here to improve my confidence in, to speaking and share my life experience, I would say, for you about my life and about many things I did in my life for a while. And can I ask if for someone present
Please
in
go ahead.
Okay, Washington, please, can you go?
Okay. My name is Washner Takeuch. I'm 44 years old. I'm software developer like you, Carlos and Osvaldo. And I have a dog. And in the past, I lived in Japan. I speak Japanese. English is my third language that I want to learn. And I love to fishing with my father. I love to fishing. I currently live in Cuiabá, state of Mato Grosso. Here there are many rivers to fishing. That's why I love them. And I'm out of work right now, but I'm software developer. I love work with tech, and maybe that's it. How about you,
All right.
Erika?
when I was a teenager, I tried to learn Japanese, but I only remember Atashua Carlos this. I think is my name is Carlos, and that's
Nice,
it.
nice. Very good.
Uh, okay. Please interrupt to you. Can you choose someone to continue, please?
Yes, Erika, your turn.
Ok, thank you. I'm Erika. I live in Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais. I'm a nutritionist of the public schools here in my city. I coordinate 10 schools here. I'm responsible for food for the 10 schools in Belo Horizonte. I live with my parents here, and I love reading, cooking, dancing, and in the free times I go to outdoor activities like bicycle, I think so. And I'm here because I'd like to improve my English and get more confidence to talk English with others. That's it.
All
So,
right. Awesome.
thank you.
Can you choose? Can you choose someone, please?
Okay. What about you, Milena?
Hey guys, good morning. I'm sorry I'm late.
No
Um,
problem.
Hi, good morning. I'm Milena, and I'm working as data analyst, but I want to be a data engineer or something with infrastructure. And I love to study, so I love learning new things. And for example, in my area, or random things, so play guitar or piano. And I love flowers. So in my free time, I like to cultivate my flowers. And I try to go to the gym, but it's so hard. And I'm here because someday I want to work in another country, and probably I will need to speak English. And I like a lot here is a good space to practice. I think that's it.
All right.
Everybody
We
talk.
are me. No, no. I think Yanka didn't
Priyanka.
introduce herself.
Yes, morning, guys. My name is Bianca. I am 27 years old. I was born in Itaquera, São Paulo, and I grew up in São Roque. It's a countryside. It's a small city, actually, near by São Paulo, I guess, or Sorocaba. And nowadays, I'm living in Campinas, doing my PhD in here. I'm a demographer. I study population. I'm not from IT area, but I program for database, but just to do this, just to work with database from BGE or from or related to population, related to data about population in several countries. I live with my cats, Mary and Kariani. It's two cats. I have been attending in here and talking talks since November 2023. My goal is to improve my confidence as you all and to learn better how to articulate the English in my mind. And as Milena said, in some day or some year or in some moment to live abroad during a time, developing my career, I guess. It's that. Thank you.
All right, congratulations. You are, I can see your evolution, since you joined Talk and Talk. I can see right now how you get more confidence, as you say, Now you speak in English with freedom, liberdade, I think, You don't have you don't get shy when you speak, so this is really good. Congratulations. So, guys, I send the questions again in chat because other people join us after I already sent. It's not a problem. But today we will talk about working at a younger age. Okay, so since we we are in a gray area, tá numa área cinzenta, por assim dizer, because we had a lot of people today, but not so much. Then we can split in small rooms. I decided to keep everyone on the same room, okay? If we had more one or two guys, I had to split in small rooms because it's better to us to everyone had time to enough time to talk, all right? But since we are with 6 guys today, we can stay everyone at the same room, okay, guys? So we are starting with our questions, and I want to start with you, Erica. The first question, can you read the question number 1, please, and give your thoughts about that?
Okay. What age did you start working? I started working at 26 years old. After my graduation, as I said before, I'm a nutritionist. Yeah, that's it. It's a objective question. So I started working at 27 years old.
Okay, but you stud until before you start working, all right?
Yes. My parents could provide me all what can I say? Give me support to only study. I didn't
Um,
have I didn't have to work and study at the same time.
that's really awesome. Congratulations. How can I say that? It's really good when you had the opportunity to focus, because I think it's really important. I had a different experience, and I say for sure, if you had all the energy you had to only study this, I think this is the best situation in the world, because you can learn much more. And then when you start or doing a trainee program or something like that, you can focus only to work. So congratulations, Erica. I think it's
Yeah.
a good
There is
decision.
another Yes, there is another question that you will talk before after. So I think there is benefits and drawbacks, and we start working early or after school. But you talk later about that.
All right, no problem. And what about you, Osvaldo? How was your what age did you start working?
Well, at first, I have to agree with you, Carlos. I really believe that is so important to study before to work in our life. But in my case, I had to work with 17. I started in a strange company, IBM, its name. IBM in Hortolândia City, near Campinas. I think you know this company, Carlos, maybe?
Você está falando a IBM, só a IBM.
Yeah. My first job was in IBM, and I worked there for 1 hour and a half, when I was 17. Just a comment, a side note. I have 2 sons, but I'm here to improve my financial base, to try give them this opportunity as Erica had in her life too. So I'm here to try this. Besides improve my English skills, That's it.
All right.
And yeah, how about you?
Sorry, can you repeat? Who?
Bianca, can you
Okay.
your turn, please?
Okay. I had the same privilege, I guess, as Erica. My mom, I always lived with my mom and my grandmas. my grandparents, and my mom always said to me that my only work it was study, I just had to study. I didn't had to help with the bills in the house or things like that. I just had to focus on it. And I always try to do this. And nowadays, I still work, study. My job is study. My job is to do research and things like that. But when I was 14 years old, I was a seller of handicrafts, like artesanatos made by artisans in my city. My city, as I said, I grew up in São Roque. It's a touristical city. So in there, we had a lot of artisans, and I sell their handcrafts in a in a restaurant, a famous restaurant in there, during 2 years, more or less. And then I got a scholarship in a private school to do my high school level, and I just study. I focus on the study in the vestibular since then, since that moment, actually. So it was this, a seller and a student. Yes, my
All right.
profession.
Congratulations. A beautiful history of life. All right. And what about you, Washner? At what age did you start working?
And in my case, I start about 14, delivering newspaper in my city. And I'm a little bit old because in that time doesn't have internet and the work is not so easy and not so good to do, but I start about 14. It was very important for me to start in this age.
You're muted, Carlos.
Sorry. It was a decision of you. It was your decision, Washner, or you did that for because you need money? Why did you start at 14?
Um, Both because when I start, I lived in Mogi das Cruzes, São Paulo. I'm from that place, and it's not so easy in that time. And maybe it's both. I need more money, and it, maybe it's this.
All right, no problem. Don't get shy, you are doing a good job. And what about you, Milena? How with which age did you start working?
Was similar. My parents could prove for a study, but I always want to work because I watch Natalia Arcuri and finance independence. So I put on my mind that I need to work. So I start with scientific research with 19, and but it was a little time, 6 hours per day, isn't the complete 8 hours, but was exhausted because I was doing four, four no, 10 classes and working. So near the evaluations and programming to finish it at the university was a little exhausted, and I didn't sleep, but it was good because I love it what I did, and I learned a lot. So it was amazing experience, and but was exhausted. And after I start to work in the, how I can say this, in the world company, isn't the student part. and it was 20 years. I think that's it. Yeah, 20 years. And I'm now with this, but I'm I'm missing the student part. So probably I will start the master degree because I'm thinking a lot this. So that's it. I started with 19, but was whole scientific research.
All right, all right. Congratulations. Yeah, everyone has a beautiful story. My history is a little bit different, you know. My parents had the condition to give me the opportunity to only study, but when I was 12, 13 years old, I started to annoying my dad saying, I want to work, because I want money, you know. They give everything I need to me, but I want to buy a PlayStation at that time. And my dad says, I will not buy that to you because you already had a Super Nintendo and it's enough. You don't need two video games, you know. And I start to cut wood. I don't know how to say, tipo, cortar lenha em inglês. I need to learn that. But eu comecei a cortar, I start to cut wood to my grandma. Comecei a cortar lenha para minha avó, and she gave me some money to do that, you know, and it take me 2 years to get enough money to buy a PlayStation, you know. And when after 2 years, I bought the PlayStation, and I realized it's not worth the time and the effort I put to bought that video game, you know. And I realized, man, I worked so hard to buy this. Of course, it's a good video game, but I prefer to keep the money with me, you know. Because I put a lot of effort, and it was a good lesson I learned. But I started to work seriously when I was 16 years old at a bakery. I had to start to work 4 a.m. and I go to the high school 7 a.m. And after the high school, I go back to the bakery from uh, 1 p.m. until 6 p.m. And then I go to, como que diz, cursinho, to do cursinho pré-vestibular, you know, and I study until 10 p.m. and then I get to home and I do this every day and was exhausted. So I did the vestibular and I passed and I quit my job at bakery because I couldn't do that anymore. It was so exhaustive, but I had to work at the bakery to pay to pay the cursinho, you know, because I didn't have money at that time. My father was in a bad situation, so cursinho para university preparatory course. All right, thank you, Yanka. And yeah, when I passed the vestibular, I quit that job and I still only studying until finish the high school. And when I got to the college, I start with an internship. But yeah, that's my history. All right, so let's jump to the question number two. Washner, can you read the question number two, please, and start answering?
And okay, can doing domestic tasks count as work and give you experience? Yes, of course. I my mother always made me and my brothers do homework and a housework at the home, of course, and it was very important for me to do my daily routine, and it was very important when you was a child to do your test at home. I think it's very important to do responsibility in your day. It's very nice.
All right. I think the main part is that, teach the kids uh, how to deal with some responsibility. And what about you, Oswald? You say you had kids. What do you think about domestic tasks that can count as work and give people experience or not?
In my opinion, it's the truth because the first thing that we have more free time to work when we don't have to think about domestic tasks, and the icon I think this task is a way to work too. So if my in for example, in my case, if my fiance don't doesn't make domestic tasks, I would have I hadn't time to work as well I'm working now. So I'm really agree with Washner. And how about you, Carlos?
All right. Yeah, I agree with you guys. It will be interesting hear some opinions like that. But for me, the main part is you will live by yourself at some point of your life, you know? So it's good if when you are a teenager or when you are a kid, you get some responsibility, you know? Make your own bed, clean the dishes or small tasks, you know. I'm not saying you had to put your kids or when you are a kid to wash the glasses, the window, you know, or some heavier cleaning, but it's good to have responsibility. And in my special case, when I get married, my wife was a princess because she didn't know do anything at the house, you know. Her mother never teach her how to clean or how to cook or how she never had to take out the garbage, you know. So
I
when
see you,
she get
Carlos. At the same with me.
when she get married, she had to learn in the hard way, you know, because of course I'm her husband and I had to teach her how to clean a bathroom, how to do everything at our house because I already had that experience. And she said to me, I don't want only you do the home activities, I want to help you. And so okay, and I say okay, I will teach you. And nowadays I think she clean better than me. But I remember at the beginning of our marriage, she get a lot of upset with her mother. Why my mother never teach me how to do that? Because I'm suffering right now, you know, kind of something like that. So I say to her, "You are a princess, but you get married with sapo." I forget how to say sapo in English, you know.
I think
Frog.
Froggy.
Yeah,
Frog.
frog, exactly. But right now, I think she's happy because we get 12 years of marriage, and I think that wasn't a problem to her. And what about you, girls? Let's start with you, Erica. What do you think? Can doing domestic tasks count as work and give you experience?
Yes, I believe that when you think about many women in Brazil that only work at home, you could say housewife. I think one of the most important job is to care your family, your kids, your pets, is to care your home, your house. And I think domestic tax could count to get retired in the future because many people think, oh, but it's only a wash, a dish, wash clothes, help kids to do homework, but not. If you work at home, it's because you get support in your house because someone do something that you don't
Yeah.
do. So I believe that. I think it's important to give support that people, the majority of them are human. So I think it could, in the future, you consider this to about, I forget what, to about this experience.
All right. Yeah. And my wife says it's a job who never ends, you know? So I totally agree
Yes.
with you. It's a job who never ends. And what about you, Yanka? Um, uh, what do you think about that question?
I totally agree with Erica. Domestic work to me, it's a work, it's a not paid and a not recognized work. A lot of women can't work outside because of the domestic chores, and it doesn't count in your carteira de trabalho, it doesn't count in your previdence. So we have to get retired by age, not by work, even if we work all several years inside of our house or things like that. So it's really difficult. So yeah, it's a different kind of work, I guess, but it needs to be recognized, I guess. And about the experience, I always worked with my grandma in our house. I always helped her to clean the house and do the things. So it helped me to gain more experience, to do the things, to live alone, to know how to clean the things, you know. And it's funny because I lived during 6 years in a public house, a house disponibilized by the university to us, to poor students. And I had to live with 4 people and other people getting into the house and getting out the house, entrando e saindo da casa. Some people that I lived during 3 months, just 3 months, and another 4 months, a little kind of messy. And it was funny to know that some people get into the vestibular made to get into the university. It's it's really intelligent actually, but doesn't know how to make a rice, how to clean a bathroom, things like that. It's so intelligent, but doesn't know how to do the basic things into the house. And I was like, guy, just go to the YouTube, look for a tutorial and do the rice.
Yeah. Nowadays it's easier because we had YouTube, you know. But who never wash the clothes and mix the colors, you know, white with red and get everything pink. So we, it's good to learn. And what about you, Milena? How? What do you think about the question number two?
I think I learn I learn a lot of things, but for me, the main was that I hate to do domestic things. I really hate, so I decide uh, to survive. I need to work to pay someone to do, and my plans isn't so good because I need to wash my dishes and clean my house, and Jesus, wash the bedroom. I'm horrible, and I'd spend a long time doing this. And but I learned about the responsibility because my mom, when I lived with my mom, is was necessary clean all the house at midday. So I need to organize my responsibilities, and it's sad because I didn't sleep a long of hours because I need to finish the domestic responsibilities. And I think this, the more than I learn was the responsibility. And now, because I'm living alone, I know do everything.
All right. Congratulations. Yeah. So let's move to other question. Osvaldo, can you choose a question you want to answer, please, and start answering?
Okay. Give a moment, please.
Okay, no problem.
Um,
After you choose, the other ones can answer the same
Yeah.
question, or if you want to choose another question, please be free. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Let's talk about the question number 3, guys. Is it a good idea for teenagers to get a job and gain work experience, or should they just focus on school? What are the benefits and drawbacks of work when you are teenager?
It's a long
Okay.
question, but what do you think about that?
I think the question is about whatever we had talking about here. Okay. In my opinion, I paid my dues when I had to work when I was 17, and I worked with IT in that opportunity, but I worked with infrastructure area, not software, not about software. And I work with this for four, uh, 14 years with infrastructure area. I worked with this for 14 years, and I paid my dues to be here and working with. I really like to do that is program, So in my case, these experiences was so important to find myself, and um, I could choose better paths to my life, I think that's it. And how about you, Washington?
All right. Washington, if you want answer the question number 3, you can go ahead, or if you want to choose other question, please be free. Go ahead.
It's okay, number 3. I think Brazil is a country with difficult access to work. So it's important to start early if you can, to value work, but you also have to study a lot. It's important too, of course. I think that was important in my case. Okay, guys. I learned to value money, recognize how difficult it is to earn money. So I also learned how to manage money. I think it's important to work from an early age because it can teach you a lot. Of course, it also depends on your financial situation too. Maybe that's it, guys.
All right, thank you. And who is the sorry, can you choose someone to continue, please?
Yes, how about you, Yanka? Please.
This is a difficult question.
Yes.
I have been working on it with my supervisor, and we are searching the name young people that doesn't work and doesn't study, And what we have seen is that a lot of young people, vulnerable young people, get out of this educational system to work, and help their parents into the house, and stop the educational process and became less qualified than others. And all these vulnerable children, vulnerable young people. So, and this compromised, result in difficult things, difficult outcomes in the labor market in the future, because you didn't finish this educational basic system. So if I was a public policy maker, I would focus in maintain the young people into the educational system, actually, and then prepare these young people to be qualified and attend the demand of the labor market, I guess. But I don't, I think it's important also to have that menor aprendiz, because the young people have to choose if they want to pursue in the educational system or balance this with the menor aprendiz work. So it's a menor aprendiz, it's a good way to help these young people to get into the labor market and to qualify at the same time, and at the same time also to maintain, to pursue it in the educational system, I guess. So I would balance these two things, or I would try to maintain the young people into the educational system, I guess. But it's important to work, but I think that we have the right, we have to have the choice, to maintain, to continue to pursue it in the educational or to go to the labor market. But we have to choose this, not to be obligated to go to work and to got outside of the educational, I guess.
All right.
So yeah, it's that.
And what about you, Erica? What do you think about that? Or if you want to choose other
Yes,
question, please.
I totally agree with the Yanka, right? And from my point of view, teenagers can study and work at the same time, but they should work like menor aprendiz or they're doing internship, because when you think about the teenager from of high income, they only study, so you get more prepared for work market. But when you think about teenagers that have high income, poor people, uh, they only work because you should decide work or study, and in the future you want to get prepared for the work market. So about the qualified jobs, you only go to teenagers that in before uh, only studying. So I think teenagers could work and study at the same time, but the most important scenario, I think, is only study.
All right. And what about you, Milena? What do you think about that?
Um, Depends a lot of the age. So in the high school, for example, I think it is necessary you just study. But how I'm from the farm, I saw that a lot of my how is the name when the another people study with me? Col
Study
college,
with
Mate,
you?
maybe.
A colleague?
calling.
Colega? Colega? Se diz?
Yeah, a
Or
lot of
A,
teammate?
calling.
a colleague, a teammate, or something like that.
So the big part of teammate start
Classmates.
work.
Classmates.
How?
Classmates, I think.
Classmate. The big part of my classmate start work and didn't finish the high school. So start to work to farm with 20, 20 is 15 is usually happen a lot because it's the family is and they're the part of the coffee or cows, and this is happen But the sad part is that one guy studied with my sister, and he was brilliant. He was amazing with the math, and he loved math, but he won't will study because his father said, "You want to study? I need you here working with me," and that's it. And he hated work in the farm, but this is life. And I think in this situation it's so sad. And now the this conversation is so sad. Sorry, guys.
No, no. It's the reality, you know. The best part I like talk and talk, it's because we can share real experience, you know. Just like in a conversation with friends or at our home or in other place, you know. So yeah, the life is not easier, so we had to get used it. All right. I think we had time for a final question, but um, let me check. Erica, can you choose the next question, please, and start answering?
Okay. Um, okay. Question number 7. What jobs are good for teens, and what should they look for in an employer? Employer is empregador, right? Okay.
Exactly.
I think what jobs are good for teens? I think jobs that teens can learn something important. For example, it's important teens work like a frentista of the full station. I don't think so, but it's good teens work as some companies from IT. I think so because everything today is about technology. So I think teens could work in a job that you prepare for the future, for the work market. And they should looking for an employer that some company that the teens could improve your abilities, can be respect if then I think it's so important. The family of the teens, when you choose the jobs, think about uh, this kind of thing.
All right, all right. And what about you, Milena? What do you think about question number 7?
Mm, sorry, guys. I had a problem
What
here.
kind of jobs are good for teenagers and what they should look for an employer when they want to get unemployed, what they had to look for.
I think is how Bianca said about jovem aprendiz is interesting because is is a little time, isn't the complete hours. Um, I think that a lot of people, for example, in my area, working, how I can say this, but didn't receive for this work, but you learn with someone, or you get a freela and start to do little projects. So everybody, when someone asks me about in the university how start to work, I always say to start with a freela and all are doing the little projects. And if it isn't my area, usually the jovem aprendiz. I think that's it.
All right. And what about you, Yanka? What do you think about the question number 7? Since you had some experience researching for teenagers in this age, what do you think about that?
What I have seen is that we have a bad relation between the labor market and the education qualification, the education formation, Maybe the young people, it's not being formed to get into the labor market or to correspond to the labor market exigências, what they want to. So, job as menor aprendiz, as I said, in fundamental sector of our economy, like industry or business, can help us with this mismatch, I guess, to prepare the young people to get into this kind of job and help the main sector that we have in our economy, like industry or business, things like that, I guess. And about the employer, maybe a job that really help you to learn how to do that things, how to, yeah, to help you to have the skills that that job is demanding, and prepare you to the next job, to the next opportunity of job, or to be really into this labor thing, this labor sector, I guess.
All
So
right.
just to put together this match between education and labor market,
All right. Thank you for sharing, Yanka. And what about you, Osvaldo? You can give your final answer. I don't know. And then Washner, because today we can't pass from 8 a.m. There is another immersion starting after R. So let's go ahead, Osvaldo. What do you think about that?
Okay, when I was 15, I had the opportunity to work in a kids store as a stokist. And that job, in my opinion, wasn't a good job in this age because I I got tired and I couldn't stud better, and I decided to exit that job. So, in my opinion, the job could give for teenagers a good way to improve your abilities, and maybe they don't have a strong job, in my opinion. And how about you, Washington?
Okay, in my opinion, it's important teenage to work, of course, but employer to give some opportunity that teenagers and uh, teach them to how to work, not to give hard responsibility, just how to work in your time. It's important.
All right. I totally agree with you guys. At that age, I think it's important to kids get responsibility, and learn how to work. If they got a job who can teach them something, this is really good because the labor market can be tough sometimes, and they had to learn how to deal with those situations.